Welcome to Bangkok ChitChat, and today we have the Hua Hin Report for March. We've got Richard Buckle down in Hua Hin, and he's got a guest, so we'll just go across to him. I'd ask anyone, if you could, please subscribe, please provide comments, and like and share. That helps us an awful lot. So, hi there, Richard.
Yeah, hi there, Andrew. I think I'll sound muted there. Are you hearing me all right?
Yes,
all
I'm hearing you fine, thank you.
Good stuff. All right. Well, it's been fabulous here over the last couple of weeks since we last talked. Quite a lot has gone on. I have a guest who you can see. I'll introduce Will in just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
But first, it's been a fairly busy few weeks, really. You may probably know, have seen in the Bangkok Post about the Prime Minister talking about the Karen villages up at Ken Krachang. Now, Ken Krachang is just north of here, about 50 minutes drive from here. There's a huge area of forest, and a lot of Karen villagers had set up base and home there. And then there was an attempt to evict them and move them out. And then, of course, they demonstrated to the government saying that they wanted to be relocated and have the right to live and basically live and have some land. And the government effectively agreed to their demands. But then in the press earlier today, the Prime Minister said that actually no, the Karen villagers would not be allowed back onto the land that they originally requested at Ken Krachang Park. So
they were originally in the national park. Is that correct?
They had moved into the national park, and some had been there for several years and set up family, set up small areas of land and done farming. And then, actually about 10 years ago, a similar group were evicted, and there was a lot of chaos and there was a lot of problem for the government as well. And the government didn't want to have the same problem. So they basically invited this group in for a meeting to agree some terms where they might be allocated plots of land where they could live. Now, it does appear from the news that they may be allocated plots of land, but not necessarily in the area that they were looking or rather hoping for. So that's an ongoing developing story. We'll have to see how that moves on.
It seems quite common, because you've had that in other national parks where they say about encroachment, yeah, and they've been trying to move people out of it. So it seems reasonably common, doesn't it?
Well, I think it is, and different governments in different countries, have different rules, and sometimes different rules for different groups of people. If you look at some of the workers from Myanmar that have come over, again, some of those want to be relocated here permanently. And then the government obviously allowed quite a lot of those workers to register to stay here legally for a 2-year period. But of course, quite a lot of that group will want to stay here indefinitely. Of course, I think that'll also depend partly on how things get on with beating COVID and dealing with that. So it's all in that kind of mix.
Right.
Let's move on anyway, because there's been quite a lot of things going on here. AirAsia announced that they are to resume flights out of Hua Hin Airport after quite a long break due to COVID. Their first flight up to Chiang Mai will start on April the 2nd. And Will, here, you're probably likely to take that, aren't you, or one of those early flights?
Absolutely. It's a superb thing, that flight.
Yeah, because Will lives here in Hua Hin, but he also lives in Chiang Mai, and you kind of go backwards and forwards, and more about that in just a couple of minutes. The Tourism Authority have teamed up with the Pucharaska Hotel here in Hua Hin, and they have put on something called the Taste of Prachuap, which may sound a bit like, TAT nonsense. But what they've done is they've got the top chefs of Thailand who appeared on the Top Chef TV show in Bangkok. They brought them all down here to Hua Hin, and they took them down to the different regions of Prachuap Khiri and found a lot of local produce, whether that's the coconuts and the watermelons and the fish and the shrimp and the everything else. And then they invited us to the most amazing Top Chef dining experience I've ever been to. making the most unusual taste and unusual food at the highest possible level. And so that has been going on over the last week. And these top chefs are going to return and join some local chefs to do various basically food promotions at different restaurants around the town using local produce. And
Wow.
so I think that's like an interesting thing. And the idea here is to boost local tourism for the local tourism office, and obviously to boost occupancy in some of the restaurants and hotels. It's a really terrific thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I mean, in the past few weeks since the last report, have you found things picking up in Hua Hin as far as, people from Bangkok coming down? Because the COVID situation is less than it was before, yeah? It seems to be, we've just had a bit of a boost just now over one issue, but in general, it's actually dropped.
I think life is picking up here slowly. Still, some of the hotels are struggling and the smaller places have been struggling, but the Bangkok crowd haven't let us down, and they continue to return most Fridays and return to Bangkok on Sunday or Monday. And the town is very vibrant over that long weekend period. But of course, during the week, things still remain a little quiet. But, there's still a lot of activity going on. True Arena have got their open day this coming weekend. True Arena have got these incredible fitness facilities, football pitches, indoor stadiums, tennis courts. And generally, they've charged a lot of money to come down, for people to use those. Well, this weekend, they're opening the doors. Everything is free. So you can go in and use the gym, the highest quality equipment at True Arena this coming weekend for free from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're also launching what is called walking football, which is a first in Thailand. And if you're into, it's true.
I'm okay with that one.
Yeah, it's a great concept, and it's the fastest new sport. It's taking up quicker than any other sport on the planet. And our group, our friends here, have got the rights to launch it in Thailand and launch it in Hua Hin. And the first matches take place Sunday afternoon at True Arena. Walking football. It's actually designed for people that are not so fit to come out and have a go and get some exercise, play football, but they walk, they don't run. And they've got miniature goalposts. So it's the older guys, like you and me, that can go and walk and kick a ball.
Thank you. So what happens when they do a cross? So they've got a corner and they do a cross. Do you just slowly jump or what?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not sure. We have our ex-pro footballer, Gary Stevens, who was with Tottenham Hotspur and Brighton and various other teams in the UK 20, 30 years ago. Well, he's semi-retired here and doing training. So he is really steering the walking football event on Sunday. So he'll be laying down the rules and giving direction to the first group of about 30 or 40 people.
Are you
so
going?
I'm looking forward to participating.
Are you going to go?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Well, make sure you get some video. I'd love to see it. Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Okay, I'll send you some video. I'll send you a picture as well in a minute.
Lovely.
Okay. What else is going on? I think that's really about it. I wanted to introduce my guest before we run out of time. And Will's been sitting here very patiently. In fact, he's provided me with a great breakfast, chocolate donut.
Oh, jealous. I'm very jealous.
Put it in front of the camera. There you go.
Yeah.
That's breakfast this morning. And that's great. So Will is interesting because Will is a music producer and a film producer. And Will, you've been in the music industry for how long?
About 25 years now.
About 25, 30 years, maybe 25 years, yes.
Without giving the game away.
Yeah. And I know you've worked in the early days with some fairly big names, haven't you? Can you give me some idea of some of the people that you've worked with, some names that would be familiar to people watching?
Well, I started off in Manchester as a club promoter, promoting small gigs in bars, restaurants, wherever we could put a someone in the corner playing something or singing, and things built and got better. And I was very lucky to meet Gwen Dickey from Rolls-Royce, who became my good client and godmother to my son. And since meeting her, my agency really took off, and I started bringing Americans over to the UK, especially when the dollar was 2 for 1.
Exactly. You know, Rolls-Royce did that incredible song back in the 70s called Car Wash, which was a great fun. It's a great track. Yeah.
Yeah, and my agency grew, and we were promoting shows and festivals, and we worked with James Brown, Chuck Berry, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Did you?
Yeah.
Amazing. That's fantastic. What were you doing? Like outside shows with them?
Yeah.
As a recording.
As a promoter, at that time, we were taking so many dates off the tour schedule, the cheaper ones, preferably.
Okay.
But we were doing gigs, some gigs in London, some in Bristol, some in Manchester, Bradford. But it was all great fun. You know?
Yeah. And then you basically have started your own music label and things as well, haven't you?
Yeah. After the recession in 2008, I thought the internet was going to be difficult for agencies, especially with non-exclusive acts, where they had their own websites and people could go directly to the artist. Some of the big ones you can't get hold of anyway, but I thought it may be a difficult time coming with the internet, and let's use the internet. And I started some production companies. Well, I've been working in production since about 2002, and I decided to start a label and start selling downloads, which, there were a very small percentage of the music business at the time.
Right.
I think the major record labels called them downloaders. Oh, we've got the downloader market, as though it wasn't a very big market. But as you know, it's taken over, and physical sales have become minute, really.
Do you see a revival in the, there's a revival in vinyl, or certainly not to what it was originally, yeah?
Vinyl. Absolutely. The story after story coming out about vinyl and the way that it's now bigger than DVDs and CDs CDs in America. People love products to hold, and to clean and to put on, and the sound and the feeling, and it is special vinyl compared to.
It's a unique thing, product.
An MP3 which is compressed, and you're only getting 16-bit instead of 24-bit.
Yeah.
So I think there's a big market for vinyl, especially in the.
Go on.
So are you still in the business, or have you retired, or what do you do now?
Semi-retired.
Shall we come on to that?
Okay, lovely.
Shall we come on to that? Yeah. Just before that, Andrew, Will, he's being very modest because he's worked in like New York and Antigua and various parts of the world with music acts, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. You've met the Bee Gees, and did you work with Robin Gibb for a while as well?
I worked with Robin Gibb for about a year. We had a production company, and we were developing our ideas, as Robin used to call them.
Right.
And Robin taught me so many things that actually took me into writing music, writing lyrics.
And this is what you do now, isn't it? You write songs quite a lot.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it was just a hobby to begin with, part time, and for me, writing is an emotion. And when you have that emotion, you just write some lyrics, or you get your iPhone out, which is one of my tools, and start singing or saying a few things into the iPhone, and you keep all these ideas and develop them. Yeah,
because we interviewed Barry Upton, and we released his interview last week. Yeah,
Barry Upton. I know.
He's in Pattaya, right?
Yes, he used to be part of the Brotherhood of Man.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then he had Steps. He was very successful with a band called Steps. So he does. Yeah. Is it the same as you, where you do composing, you do the production? Do you do the singing as well, or is it more the composing and production?
I don't know.
No, he gets real talent to do the singing.
We'll sort of pass on that one. I can help.
I think it's a passion thing. Yeah, I think it's very much a thing when you've got a passion for it and you love what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people in London that got egos to be big stars, but at the same time they try to hold some kind of work within the music business, and the rest of the time they're trying to break their ideas and their productions, you know, and go from there. And some have been very, very successful. But I think it's a hard thing if you're going full time. Said I'm going to be I'm going to write music and be a producer and whatever. You know, it's quite difficult to get.
It's quite a slog, isn't it, to get up there and get out there, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
I wanted to come forward a little bit. Sorry, Andrew. I wanted to move forward because time's a little tight, and bring us a little more up to date and really tell Andy, you know, what you're doing here in Thailand now.
Sure.
Because you're involved in a really exciting project called the Isan Project, right?
Yeah.
Would you like to tell them what it's all about?
Yeah, so when I came out here, I was going to Malaysia in January, actually, to record Jacqueline Victor, their Pop Idol winner. And I was invited to go to stay with some friends in timeshare in Marriott Macau. Is it the Marriott Macau? It is, yeah.
Probably.
JW Marriott, sorry.
Right.
Marriott, next door. And yeah, so I went to, I came over, I discovered Bangkok. I saw this Isan band on the Sukhumvit Road with this ping guitar, this 3/4 handmade instrument going crazy on the Sukhumvit Road. I said, what's that? So I got my iPhone out and I started recording, and I kept playing back. I said, that sounds, I've never heard a sound like that. So waited till I got back to London, and Michael, who's my co-producer at the time, Michael Graves, I said, Michael, listen to this. He went, wow, what is that? I said, well, it's a ping guitar. It's from a place called Isan. I don't know any more. And I was coming back and forth on holiday. I picked up some MP3s each time from the shopping malls, you know, I used to have 100 on a stick or something. And, you know, I sort of got into this sound, and Locktoon, Morlam. And one day when I was over here, I decided to take a crew and go up to Isan and find out more where this music was coming from. Because nobody could really tell you. Nobody would tell you where these shows were, where these clubs were. So I went up to Karat and to Khon Kaen, and Anu Dontani to Soy Morlam. And I went, wow, this is amazing. It's a spirit of the people. It's a spirit of Isan.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to try a couple of tracks, and record sales are very low in Thailand. So you weren't really appealing to the Thais. But I thought, let's cross the music over with dance music, and cross these Eastern sounds with dance beats, and see what we can do. And we went number 21 in the Music Week pop chart, and then number 11 with our second one, and we got Errol Reed from China Black to sing, and he came over and he absolutely loved it. And I thought, okay, well, there's something in this. Let's do an album. But for me, it was doing an album in the background as well as work. You know, it was something that I was really looking forward to do, is going to different parts of Isan and finding out more about the music, the fashion, and the dance. Right. And you know, things evolved, and we completed an album. Couldn't believe it. And you know,
when was this?
This was about 5 years ago.
Right.
And then we had the period. Sorry.
So there was about, I think about 5, 10, maybe more years ago, the Isan music became dance music, and it was very popular in London and all the clubs. There was a phase of that. I think it faded out, yeah, but probably not because of the music, maybe just the production. But yeah, there was a period, and it was really what was taken on. Maybe it's a different style, yeah.
Yeah, there was when we say dance, there was a band called something Morlam from Bangkok, very popular. Right. And they went out to play some festivals in Europe and did very well. Mm-hmm. But we were doing quite well with the dance tracks that we did. You know, about 65% of the DJs were playing them in the UK, the dance DJ. So the reports say. So yeah, I thought there was you know, to try and find that big song that was going to break the concept. And we did okay. We had a bit of success.
You did very well to get to 21. Very well. Did okay. That's pretty damn good.
Shall we wind forward a little bit as well? Yeah. Because Will has not just been producing music and videos. You've actually found whole new stories to base your movies on. And more recently, I wanted to come back to a couple of years ago and how you ended up in Chiang Mai. And then you ended up, you know, we had the caves where the footballers were two or 3 years ago. Well, Will, you probably have a story or two about that. How did you get involved with that?
Well, actually, I was living in Hua Hin. I was living here for about 2 years, and I got a little bit bored. It was a time when the king had died, and you know, everyone was wearing black, and it was very depressed for a year, and I couldn't think of any ideas, and I was just doing nothing. I was inviting people over to Hua Hin. I had my 50th birthday here, yeah, so I wasn't doing anything, and then all of a sudden, I was in Chiang Rai, and this cave thing unfolded, the Tam Luang cave rescue. And I came back, and you know, I was every day glued to the screen about, you know, finding out what's happened to the Mupar, to the 13 boys. So this went on, and you know, it was tears to my eyes when they were rescued. I couldn't believe it when they were found, and then when they were rescued. And I heard this song on YouTube. Someone sent me a clip. Look at this, it's the song with the Mupar. And it was an orchestra in a cave. And I found it very sort of depressing. And I thought, how can they do that? I mean, just that didn't work. Yeah, great for trying, but that didn't work. So I had this song that I wrote about Brian Robson years ago called Hero. I wrote with Daniel Ryan, one of my co-writers. And I thought that's a really good melody. That melody could work for this, Heroes, and we called it Heroes of Thailand. So I rewrote the lyric, Heroes of Thailand. I got some of it, the verses, we put into the Northern Thai dialect, and we recorded this song, and it evolved, and we said, right, let's do a video. And how are we going to do a video about diving in a cave? I just couldn't even imagine how much money it was going to cost. So we went to Chiang Mai, and I met the professor of the university there, who offered me lots of talent. We decided we were going to do it for charity, for the Child Life Bandana home for children up near Tam Luang. It was a local charity, and I got lots of help. And in the end, we got the Thai Navy SEALs. They were very, very good. They gave us some of the footage that they had from mobile phones from the cave. Thai PBS helped us. ITV in London helped us. And we put this video together called Heroes of Thailand. And it was a success in the terms of this song for the rescue workers. And we were waiting for the films to come out, really. For the Netflix and the MGM, which is now the MGM film that's coming out later this year. We were waiting for those to come out. But I mean, since then I got a buzz for it again, and you know, come on, I really love the North, you know, I love Chiang Mai. Do you know, I'm going to move there and just check it out. You know, I want to go up there. I love Chiang Rai. It's one of my favorite.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
You know, number one, it put the Niman Road in Chiang Rai, and I'm living in Chiang Rai tomorrow. So I went.
Well, the only problem you've got is you get 6 months of the year which is all polluted because of the burning, and then that's when you come back to Hua Hin.
Yeah, I wrote a song called "Life on Mars" actually about the pollution. Went to the cafe about the 6th of January for breakfast, and the lady says the pollution's back, and I looked at the sky and it was grey. I went, oh no, not again, because it's an upheaval. You got to move out and then move back, and I've got a bad chest. I had a bad chest when I was in Bangkok, so. I have to move out. So a beautiful Hua Hin here in Hillside Hamlet, beautiful villas, can't go wrong, and lots of pals down here, including Richard, and his radio station is fantastic. Listen to it every day. So yeah, so I decided to when I was up there to do this album, a bit different to the first album of the Isan Project, called The Beautiful North, and try to, in the videos, try to look at some beautiful places within the North. Also to incorporate a bit of Thailand, and I met Vern Unsworth from the cave rescue. Vern was the mastermind of Tam Luang. I'm sure you know him.
Vern was the lead diver in the rescue of the boys in the cave.
This is the same guy that was had a problem with Tesla, yeah? That was no, the guy who has Tesla, yeah.
Yes.
Forgot his
I
name.
became friends with Vern, and after the Heroes of Thailand, and I was advising him and representing him on some bits and bobs, and I really enjoyed that because I learned more about the story. And then one day, these lyrics just came out about him, and I said, Vern, you know, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I've written some lyrics. I'm going to send them to Daniel to see if he's got an idea on a melody. And Daniel, I mean, he's really been really busy, and he works for a pharmaceutical company, but AstraZeneca, as it happens. And it took him a bit of time to throw this melody together. But wow! And I went, God, let's get this programmed up. This is great. So I said to my brother,
when does it come out?
It's out. It's called Where the Eagles Fly.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe if it's on YouTube, maybe we can get a link or something like that, and we can put the link at the bottom of the description.
Where the Eagles Fly by the Isan Project. We launched at the Hyatt Regency late last year.
Yeah.
With some help from some very kind help from TAT.
Right.
But we're waiting with all this for the films to come out, because if we get on a soundtrack, that'll be amazing, or we got on a soundtrack album. But even though about that time when those films comes out, that'd be the best time to promote, you know, those kind of records. So
and as if you're semi-retired, yeah.
It's what? Sorry.
It doesn't sound as if you're semi-retired.
Well, you sort of have the bug and the love for it, and you know, I love Thailand. I love the culture. I love the food. I can't have it too spicy. But you know, traveling around Thailand has been the best days of my life for sure. And you know, I think what dragged me here was my son was living in Australia, and it was halfway house, you know, and then I had a Thai girlfriend, and that was it. You know, I moved. But yeah, it's a fantastic place, fantastic surroundings, and the good things certainly outweigh the bad.
Yeah.
And let's move it on a little bit further, because, okay, Vern Unsworth, the diver, he's been down here to Hua Hin, and we went out to dinner together a few weeks ago. And of course, so he's very familiar with this part of the world as well now. And it was such a delight and so easy to talk with and tell his story. And Will had arranged and allowed me to interview Vern and Kun Sirasak, is it? The senator? Wirasak, yeah. So he was a senator, he was a sports minister and tourism minister at the time, right? So between Vern and Kun Wirasak, we had a terrific interview. And it's all stemmed from Will's music.
Right.
And this event that took place, which has been terrific. Now you're off videoing this weekend, aren't you? Aren't you going off somewhere?
Yes, we've TAT asked me to write some lyrics for a campaign that we're going to do called Magic Moments, or Moments of Magic in Thailand. And we threw some stuff together, and it's come out in production pretty well, and we've decided to make a video. So this weekend, we've been down already to Prachuap Kirikan. There's a temple there, an amazing temple that sits, it's like a Disney temple. And, you know, not many people know it, but it sits by the sea, above the beach, on this little mountain, and it's absolutely beautiful. Please tell me the name of it. I can't remember, Richard. But,
I can't, okay. But, it's...
but we're back down there, and we've got some dancers in some... we've got some outfits done now, and we're going to film them doing the transitions for the next video, so we can go from place to place. We go from Udon to Krabi, from Krabi to Chiang Rai. And the song is called This Is the Moment, and it's performed by a lady called Sona Rel, who was the voice of Disney's Cinderella soundtrack.
All right. Okay. Uh-huh.
And she lives in Thailand, right?
No, she doesn't. She lives in London.
Oh, is she in London? Okay, all right.
A beautiful voice. Very lucky to have her. Thank you, Sona. We love you. And so that's going to come out in the next couple of months, I would have thought. It's a bit difficult to get to all the locations at the minute because of the COVID thing, which is hopefully, you know, they're knocking it on the head. But we'll get round, and there's no rush, there's no rules. We'll have a really nice song and video in a couple of months, I think.
Okay.
Will's videos, they're no longer dance music. They're really full-on, semi-soft to mid-tempo productions, and they're really beautifully created.
Right, well, as I said, we'll put the description so the viewers can have a listen to it. Is there anything you'd like to sort of tail off on? Because we're probably hitting the end of the period.
Anything else? I think that was good, eh?
World class. Thank you very much for the invite today, by the way.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. I mean, it's interesting. It's not just about Hua Hin, it's also the people in Hua Hin on this basis. So now you're going to have people running after you asking for your autograph. You realise that? So it's not going to be peaceful anymore.
Well, I used to be very behind the scenes, but the Isan Project, so yeah, people want to know you, hear about things, and yeah, it's a little bit different now, but anyway, no problem.
It's nice to hear about happy things. Yeah.
All sorts of
Yeah,
things
we're
going on.
we're at the Hua Hin Wine Expo Friday, which is covering the beauty of Thailand tourism with wine, and they asked me to speak at that, and I thought, speaking at a wine event, are you sure? But I loved the wine. I mean, it's my medicine in life, you know.
You'll be seeing a whole lot of different views when you've got a few glasses of wine in you. Yeah.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And I mean, if you get the chance, please come down on Friday. It's at the Intercontinental Hotel from 6:30 to 8:30. And I'll be doing a presentation, and so will the gentleman from Monsoon Valley.
Yes, Mr. Guido, who runs Monsoon Valley, and the Hua Hin Winery as well up here. So it's all part of that network.
It seems to be all happening down in Hua Hin. In fact, it's happening in Pattaya as well. Everyone's having different events. And it's great to see that that's happening, and people are not all depressed. I pity people back in the UK.
You know what they're going through.
Europe is a real...
So we've been very, very lucky, yeah, as far as the COVID's concerned.
We've got the blue skies and the love of the people, and we've got wonderful food, and you know, it's a lot easier being here than in the UK.
And a great quality of life down here, of course.
Yes.
Okay, listen, thanks very much for your time, and we'll get another report, and if I can get get another report next month, yeah. And if you can send me the links, we'll put that in, and we'll take it from there. Okay. I'll speak to you later.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Now.
Okay, that was Richard and Will speaking to us there from Hua Hin for the Hua Hin Report. I hope you found that interesting. Please, as I mentioned at the beginning, subscribe, comment, very important, the comments, like and share. I'll see you next time.